You've probably heard before that chronic stress can make you sick, but is that really true? We often think of stress as this intangible emotional thing, but chronic stress can have some real serious physical consequences. Let's explore the relationship between chronic stress and illness. Welcome to my channel. My name is Dr. Jessica. I'm a naturopathic doctor, an acupuncturist, and a health coach. And I help clients overcome stress, anxiety, fatigue, poor sleep, trouble thinking, and all the symptoms that come along with burnout. Let's keep in mind that the stress response is there to actually keep us safe. During an acute stress response, the sympathetic nervous system turns on and puts us into that fight or flight mode. Now, some important physiological changes happen here. Cortisol is released, and adrenaline is released, our heart rate goes up, our blood pressure goes up, our immune system even becomes more vigilant, all in response to this new stress. The problem occurs when we have chronic stress and chronic elevations of these hormones such as cortisol and norepinephrine or adrenaline. Now, chronically elevated cortisol can lead to a suppression of our immune system and also a shunting of our immune response. This can often lead to the development of new autoimmune conditions. This also increases cytokine activity, which causes us to have more inflammation in our body. So add together a repressed immune system as well as increased inflammation, and that is a recipe for illness. So that elevated cortisol can lead to plaques in our arteries, leading to atherosclerosis, and that increase in heart rate and blood pressure over time can lead us to develop hypertension as well. So yes, in this regard, chronic stress can for sure lead to the development of illnesses such as cardiovascular disease, autoimmune conditions, as well as leaving us more susceptible to different types of viruses and bacteria. Now, I talked about our sympathetic nervous system getting activated, but we can also start to interfere with our enteric nervous system. Now, that is a nervous system that deals with our gut and our brain connection. The enteric nervous system helps to regulate our gut function. And when that becomes disrupted, it can interfere with the gut-brain connection. This is how we can develop conditions such as IBS, or irritable bowel syndrome, and it can also lead to increased gut sensitivity as well. In addition, newer research also shows that chronic stress can actually change the composition of our microbiome, or the bacteria that is located in our gut. And this is important because that bacteria actually does a lot of signaling and is responsible for a lot of the things that happen inside of our immune system, because a good 70% of our immune system is actually located in our gut. In addition, when cortisol is chronically elevated, it can actually decrease the production of an antibody known as secretory IgA. Now, secretory IgA is important because it actually prevents antigens and other particles from making contact with our different mucosal surfaces. So these surfaces range from our respiratory tract to our genital urinary tract and also our GI tract as well. So when secretory IgA goes down, this leaves us more vulnerable to these types of respiratory, genital urinary, or even GI infections. So I think you're beginning to understand the different ways that stress can actually make you more vulnerable to developing some type of illness. So yeah, stress for sure can make you sick. But I also hear you asking, so what am I supposed to do about it? How do I counteract this stress? Well, if you've seen any of my other videos about stress management, then you already know that you have to implement lifestyle changes that are going to help you get stress management back under control. You need to bring the sympathetic and the parasympathetic nervous system back into balance. So I use a naturopathic medicine or a functional medicine approach to this, meaning that we have to look at all the different ways in which we can manage stress. So that's all the different systems that stress affects, as well as using mindset and lifestyle changes and techniques to help bring that system back into balance. So that sounds nice, but what does this mean in real life? Well, take for example, you have a condition such as IBS or even hypertension that's triggered by stress. So that means you can't just take a pill and expect things to be fixed, because just because your blood pressure goes down or just because your IBS is a little bit more managed doesn't mean that the stress isn't still causing problems. For example, we need to look at how your mindset is playing into all this. Are you feeling anxious? Are you having a lot of overwhelming thoughts or thoughts of anxiety that are further making you even more stressed out? And when we are feeling stressed out, again, we're chronically elevating our levels of cortisol. Also, you need to ask, what about your diet? What about your exercise? All of these play into the feedback loop that is the HPA axis that helps to modulate all these different hormones, especially cortisol. And so taking all of these types of things into account is what I mean when I say a functional medicine or a naturopathic medicine or a head head-to-toe approach to dealing with stress. And that is the beauty of working with someone like me as a functional medicine coach. I help you identify all the different areas that are being affected both physically and mentally by stress. So if any of this is sounding familiar, then I invite you to learn more about my program, The Better Health Blueprint. It's all about creating a functional approach to your stress management. Click the link below and you can learn a little bit more. So to recap, for sure, stress can make you sick. We often think of it as this intangible emotional thing that has no consequences, but it really does have some serious physical consequences, especially the longer you let it go unchecked. So be sure to take it seriously, be sure to take the time to check in with yourself and to get a game plan for your stress management. A lot of times chronic stress can be a creeper, and a lot of times you don't know what happened until it hits you. So be sure to take it seriously. Alright, I hope this video was helpful. If you learned something, please give it a thumbs up. That actually does help new people find this channel. If you have any questions, be sure to leave a comment down below and I'll do my best to answer it. And as always, be sure to hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so that you can know when I post new videos about this topic next week. Alright, I will see you in the next video. Bye!